মায়ের আলোটা একটু জ্বেলে দাও না, একটুখানি
গরম হয়ে যাচ্ছে বলে ওটা মাথার উপরে ওভারহেডটা লাগিয়ে দিয়ে দিতে গরম হয়ে যায়।
এখন গরম হয়ে যাবে, সেটা 6টায় আসবে, আমাদের ক্লাস শেষ হয়ে যাবে তার আগে, তারপর ঠান্ডা করুক না। দেখা যাচ্ছে
এখানে লাইভ হচ্ছে।
বসুদেব সুতম দেবম কংসচাণূরমর্দনম দেবকী পরমানন্দম কৃষ্ণং বন্দে জগদ্গুরুম। Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons, Kamsa and Chanura, and the delight for the mother Devaki and the Guru of the world. We salute him again and again. Oh, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are reading the Bhagavad, and we are in that chapter where God, how the creation came, that was being described. And the question came of origin of the Virata. Virata means this gross universe, as we see, how this gross came and who controls this, all this functionality of the huge objective universe. Really, we know to run a small organization, people get upset. So difficult, no? To organize little function, you have to think so much. But how this discipline of the earth, sun, moon, stars, and its rules and its planets and the birth and death and decay and everything going on, whose power is this? How it is going on? So this is the subject here, and we have heard that this this God have created this by the different one God. He created different deities, and those deities are conferred different responsibilities for running. So we are at number 10 on chapter 6 of book number 3. So we are reading that part now. The diversification of the limbs of the Virata. Virata means this gross, expansive universe, how it's fed and how its limbs and parts have been organized and controlled and ruled. So the 10th verse starts saying, actually let me see one or two verses early. 8th verse says this Virata, or the cosmic being, is the soul of everything. He is a part of Parabrahman, Paramatma, and his first incarnation. So the Virat, this is the Virata. Virata Vishwa, Virata Tejasa, Hiranyagarbha, and Ishvara. And categorically, the cosmic reality, individually, it is individually, in the Vedantic term it is said, you are called the Vishwa. Vishwa, and all of us together, what is this whole universe is called Virata. This is Virata. When you go to the subtle level, it's called Tejasa individually. And in the cosmic level, it is called what is called the Hiranyagarbha. And when you go to the causal level, we go in a deep sleep state. That is called the causal level. That Pragya. That is the technical term called Pragya. And in the cosmic level, it is called the Ishvara. So that means the same thing gets manifested in a gross level and gets different names. Ishvara coming to Hiranyagarbha, Hiranyagarbha to Virata. And individually, as we are now, you are called Vishwa. When you dream, you are in the state of Taijasa. When you go to the causal body level, in the deep sleep, Prajna. So in the whole universe, suppose, as it happens, imagine for yourself, as we are awake now, so we are in the state called Vishwa. But the whole universe is called, all Vishwas added is called Virat, technical term. Now when you go to dream, in dream you also have an existence and you see the realities there. Similarly, in a subtle level, whole cosmic universe, Virato, comes from subtle, that's called the Hiranyagarbha. And individually, we are in called Tejas. Teja means light. That's why there is light. There is no external light. Now we need this light to see. Deep dark night, we cannot see anything. But in dream, there is no external light, but we see so many things. That's called Tejas. Tejasa. And in the cosmic level, it is called the Hiranyagarbha. Hiranya means gold. Garbha means in its source, in its womb is that Hiranya, that effulgent light. Like dream. In the dream, as there is no external light, so you go to the inner level in cosmic level, then it becomes that effulgent light, which has its own origin inside. And go another step high when you go to sleep. That's the most blissful step, stage of creation. We feel most joy. We don't die, but we are there. That is called the prajna. Almost we are there. Prayena agna agga. Almost we are ignorant because we do not know anything that time, but we are in joy. Similarly, when the whole universe moves towards a subtle level, there it is called the Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara, that is the state. And all these come from Brahman. So now that is said, Virata, this Virata or cosmic being is the soul of everything. That means you, me, the entire human being, all the animal world, plant world, this, that, whatever we see in the gross is a part of that Virata. That is the soul of everything because we are a part of it. And it's a part of Parabrahman, Paramatma. Is a part of Paramatma. And his first incarnation. So it is Paramatma, it is actually this whole Virata is a part of that Brahman, because it is Brahman coming to one step down, called the Ishvara, then coming Hiranyagarbha, then coming Virat. Just imagine three levels. Brahman making bifurcation into two, individual and cosmic. Cosmic level, individual level. Cosmic level, Ishvara, Pragya. One step down, Taijasa, myself, yourself, and it is cosmic level, all Taijasa added is called Hiranyagarbha. One step down, I am called individual soul, Vishwa, and it's all Vishwa added is equal to Virat. So that way it is a part of Paramatma, as if it is a manifestation of Paramatma. That means what we see is nothing but Brahman appearing as the Virata. This Virata has three aspects. Is in association with the senses, indriyas, adhyatma. Is association with the gods and goddesses, and association with the body. So this Virato, this thing, this gross universe, has three aspects. Association with the indriyas, it gets identified with the senses. That's why the functionality continues. If the eyes, ears, all this. And in association with the senses are controlled by some gods and goddesses, deities, and the association of the body, the physical body. So this gross universe is connected in three ways. One is with the senses, that's why we see the external universe. Is one in association with the deities, because they are all senses can function because there is some divine principle behind it. That's called the deities or gods and goddesses. And in the association with the body. In association with the prana, he functions as 10. So now, when the function of the prana, in the heart, he functions as one. In the heart, he functions as one, and it manifests as the prana, this prana energy, and it is in the subtle body. It is called the connected with the senses. Senses are connected with their presiding deity. This is type of explaining the creation theory according to this text. Now, 10th verse what we start says, remembering the prayer of the various categories and their deities for being allotted places of functions, he activated the Virato for the accomplishment of this. So, he means the God, he put energy into it created this universe. Ishvara created different gods and goddesses, deities, and then he gave responsibility. You look after this department, you look after that department, you look after the eye department, you look after the ear department, you look after the smell department. So Hindus have so many gods and goddesses because of that, because everything should be controlled by some divine entities.
So Indra would be the cosmic form of all the hands in the universe. Right?
Yeah, that will read according to this. All the verses are.
Every hand will be Indra's hand.
That's the idea. Ultimately, there is somebody, some controlling agency. As I said, that suppose in a small home, to manage everything perfectly, you distribute some responsibility, You will cook, I will do the dishes, you will go for shopping, I will do this, I will clean the room, I will go for calling people. So everything is distributed, So how the big function of the world is going on. So there is a question, how is going on? Therefore comes the question of there must be some conscious entity functioning behind this gross material world. And what? That is the ancient Hindu idea, that everything is controlled by some divine agency. And each have their own separate, otherwise it will be mess. When it is called good organized work and disorganized work, we say. What is disorganized work? No one is assigned to anything, no one doesn't know what to do. People are doing like that, pagoler khela, like a madman's display. But when it is organized, then you do this, and you are in charge of the department. You are in charge of cooking. You are in charge of shopping. You are in charge of communication with others. You are in charge of the internet. You are in charge of this. So there is somebody in the functional universe. So in the whole planet, Earth, sun, moon, stars, galaxies, everything is going on, and everything is controlled, everything in its own principle. There is a principle in the world. So that's why it is said it is the deities, gods, the conscious entities, divine entities. In a subtle level, they live and they regulate everything. So remembering the prayer of the various categories and their deities for being allotted places and functions, he activated the Virata for the accomplishment of this. When he thought like this, appropriate locations for these deities become available. Hear from me about them. How it happened? The first to develop when Virata thought in this wise way was the mouth. The first to develop when the Virata thought in this wise was the mouth, which become the residence of the guardian deity of the quarters. Mouth, you say something, express yourself. So that is the deity of the quarters, that is fire. Agni, along with the power, the organ of speech. So organ of speech came and the mouth came. So the first development of the Virata through the mouth. With that mouth, the capability of speech is produced. In the region of the palate that was formed in the Virata, Boruna, which is power of tongue, took his place. So these are names of gods. Boruna is one god. Boruna is god of rain. So the tongue is always what?
Not
Watery.
Ocean.
Watery. Eh?
Ocean.
What?
Borunu is the lord of the ocean.
Ocean. That is water. Isn't it?
Rain is the Indra.
Indra, okay. So the water. Water is here is water. That's okay. So that's why it said the Agni and with that mouth, the capability of speech is produced in the region of the palate that was formed in the Virata. Boruna, with his power of tongue, took his position. With the tongue, people know taste. In the region of the nose that was formed in the Virata, capital nose. They have given in the region of the nose, capital, that was formed in the Virata, the cosmic big nose. We are all part
Cosmic
of
nose.
that nose. All the individual nose, he's the big nose. The Ashwins, they are called Ashwini Kumars, Ashwins, along with their power of smell took place. So when the tongue, people know the taste, in the region of nose, that was formed in the Virata in the cosmic, the Ashwins, that is the name of the god, Ashwin, along with their power of smell, capital smell, took their place. With the nose, then smell, that's why we feel smell, we feel the smell or fragrance to the nose. In the region of the eye, capital I, that was formed in the Virata, in the cosmic, was that big eye, that was formed in the Virata. The sun, the ruler of this region, which is power of sight, took his place. So it's called the eye, who is the eye, god of eye is the sun. Sun,
Surya.
Surya. With the eye, forms are perceived. I see different forms. Eyes are there. So it is connected with the sun. The sun is the gods of the eyes, according to them. The nose, big nose, with this, it is by the Ashwini Kumars or Ashwins. Varuna, the power of the tongue. So Varuna god for the tongue, and his power to speak. So that's why you please Varuna god. If you can please, then your tongue will be always healthy. That means tongue doctor, smell doctor, nose doctor. So they are all, but they're the controller. Doctor may cure or not cure, but he is the boss of that. He's the god, deity, controlling all the nose, all the tongue, like that. Do you get anything out of it? Yeah, because our eyes are seeing, they are saying these eyes are created and its controller is also created. Sun is the controller because eye has bearing connection with the sun. And also sun gives us to, eyes gives us to see the form different.
Maharaj, when you say the sun, does it mean symbolic or
Sym-
literally the sun?
Yeah. If someone believes, how many people believe that? But it is, according to Bhagavatam, that is the way of God created, absolute God created this. That's diversified creation. And also made it very organized. It's not, it is, though it is a plan of creation, but that this creation not whimsical. It's very well planned. In the region of eye that was formed in the Virato, the sun, the ruler of the region, with the power of sight, took his place. With the eye, forms are perceived. In the organ of skin, the skin that was formed in the Virato, air, the ruler of that region, which is power of touch. So air God. So this is connection with the touch. He took his place, spreading all over the body. That's why you can feel heat, cold, and touch of the air. With the organ skin, all feel touch. We feel touched by organ of skin. So skin is it is of the Virato, air god, god of air. In the region of the ear, formed in the Virato, Dik, the deities. Dik means this corner, all the 10 corners. That's called a Dik. East, west, north, south is that. Up there, abode along with the power of hearing. So that's why sound comes from all the directions. In the organ of skin formed in the Virat, plants in the form of hair took their place from that itching is experienced. In the region of reproductive system that formed in the Virata, Prajapati, which is power of copulation, took his place. With that sex enjoyment is had. When the rectum was formed in the Virata, Mitra is the god who holds sway over the world, took his place there, which is power of excretion, located in the anus. With that, the function of the excretion is performed. When hands were formed in the Virata, Indra, who holds sway over the heavens, took his place in them, along with his power of dexterity. With that, all earn their livelihood. So hands were created like that. Virata. Indra is the god of that. Just you are talking about Indra, here they are mentioning that Indra, when the hands are formed in the Virata, then this Indra, the god Indra, who holds sway over the heavens, actually took his place in them along with his power of dexterity. With that, all earn their livelihood. Then with the hand they work and they earn their livelihood. Say animal or human, it matters little. Everyone work to the hand to eat food and survive. So hands god is Virata, Indra. When legs were formed in the Virata, it's called the Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, Narayana Vishnu, who rules the world, took his place there, along with his power of walking. With that, all go to their destinies. Therefore, leg was, who is the leg? God of leg. The God of leg is Vishnu, and the Lord Vishnu, who rules the world, took his place there, along with this his power of walking. That's why all the power of walking came. People walk with the feet. So who is the god of feet? All the feet. It is called the Vishnu, the Narayana. When the heart was formed in the Virata, the moon, which is power of mind, took his place in it. That's why we are connected. Our mind is very much connected with the moon. Right? With the emotions are connected with the moon. With that, all feel and imagine. When the eye sense was formed in the Virata, Rudra, which is power of will to do, took his place there. So Rudra, when the eye sense, ego sense came, that was formed by Virata. The Rudra, the power of the will to do. Rudra has the power, God Rudra. It is another name of Lord Shiva. Has the power, will to do something. The power to will to do took his place. With that, all perform ego-centered act. That's why we all work. I do. I have done. That become very natural because I is the behind that. When intellect was formed in the Virata, Brahma took his place. Brahma became the intellect, controller of all the intellect. Our intellects, buddhi, is there. According to this, is the Brahma, power of rational thinking. With that, all gain knowledge. Now, the head of the Virata is the heaven. Now, the Virata, we are thinking this Virata as if it is considered like a human being. Virata has a leg. Imagine that is the leg, that is the head, that is the middle part of the body. So he says, 26 verse says, the head of the Virata is the heaven. The feet constitute the earth, and the navel in the middle region. It is in this that all beings were born in three gunas, divinities or divine beings, men, animal, and birds. Because of the excess of sattva quality, some are devas, they are inhabiting in the heaven. Men, those who have both rajas quality and men with rajas dominant, and other creatures associated with them live on the earth. So in this earth who lives? Men and other animals or who have the little rajasic quality. Sattvic quality, they are all gods. Sattvika gunas, there are three gunas, divinities, men, animal and birds. So when it is because of the excess of sattva, some are gods inhabiting in the heaven, but men with the rajas dominant, we are all humans, we are, because of our dominant rajas quality, we are here, and other creatures associated with them live on the earth planet. Because of the dominant of the tamas quality, the bhutas means the earth, water, air, fire, all these bhutas, forming the attendants of the Rudra, occupy the region between the earth and the heaven, forming the Virata Purusha's navel region. O chief of Kuru, out of the face of Purusha, the Vedas originated. Out of the face of that Purusha, the Vedas originated. From the face also came the Brahmana, who is the chief of the Varnas and the teachers of all. Out of the hands of the Virata arose the art and functions of protection, and also for the Kshatriyas who follow it as its deity. A power of the Lord, a Kshatriya protects all from the thieves and other evildoers. From thighs of the Virata Purusha also arose agriculture and other industries which bring prosperity in this world. The Vaishya, who generates wealth for the good of all, also arose from his thighs. The occupation called service arose from the feet of the Lord for all accomplishment of the Dharma. From his feet also arose the Sudra, by whose duty of service Hari is much pleased. He from whom all the Varnas means Chaturvarna, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra in the society. They are all coming from God's different powers. He from whom all the Varnas thus originated, each with its special duty. That Supreme Being, Srihari, the Lord, their father and teachers, do they all worship with their duties performed with faith and devotion for their self purification. O Vidura, who can even conceive the idea, not to speak of accomplishing it, of describing this cosmic form of the Lord, brought into existence by the power of his mysterious Maya, which includes the efficiencies of time, karma, and nature. We are not to need, we don't need this. all these details of which is the God of what and how the creation has been done. This is two details, and in each scripture will describe it differently. So it is not an absolute. As Brahman is absolute, all the time you read Brahman, Brahman is an absolute, timeless, spaceless, causeless, beginningless, endless. These are characteristics. But these gods and goddesses, this creation is a complicated area. Each scripture will describe in a different way. Ultimately, Vedantic idea, this creation is not there. Actually, the creation is not there. So we see it because we are engaged into this duality. So when the duality vanishes, now last night you saw a tiger in your dream. How the tiger was unusually 100 feet long. You cannot find any rational meaning now. Say it was a dream, one word finished. In dream, tiger may be 20 feet, 10 feet, or 100 feet. These are all because my mental imagination. No, truth is beyond mind. So that Vedanta ultimately is truth. But still people are interested. My hand, Indra is the God. My eyes, sun is the God. That means these are different ideas how this system of creation came. As I said, it is not haphazard created by a lunatic person. But this creation has a system. And that system people try to explain. When you are in the dream, you try to explain. After coming back from the dream, many people spend hours and days and time in dream study. And they want to know why it is that, how it has happened. It is a true or not true? This is not our business. But still, those who are interested to know about creation, according to Bhagavatam, yeah, it is mentioned.
What about a dream for a Vijnani?
And the dream for a beginning, they may see, but they see something different. Even in that dream state also, their consciousness remain. Knowledge of Brahman
Will the
remains.
dream itself become real because everything becomes one? And
No, this reality is false. Don't compare that after Brahmagana, what you see will be real. Real means we are thinking, I saw last night I was a king, I'll be a king here. No. If someone thought that I got a lottery and I will won $1 million like in the dream. So when I woke up, I will be a millionaire. There is no, this world, according to Vedanta, is all appearance. But it is with the knowledge, it will vanish. What will remain? That consciousness remain. That absolute joy, Satchidananda will remain. So that is the ultimate. So the creation theory is always so much complicated. It is just way of explaining us. The sages are trying to explain to us, and to make some sense of it. Even though it be so, in order to purify my speech, rendering impure by talking about worldly matters, I shall speak on the glories or excellence of the Lord according to my capacity and according to what I have learned. So that's why he has, after telling all this creation theory, different gods and goddesses and these functions, one is looking after the feet, master controller of the feet, all the feet in the whole world, no? All the eyes in the world, all the five sense organs, no? Each sense organ controlled by some deity. And they are controlled by coming from Virat is coming from the Hiranyagarbha to Ishvara from Brahman. So Brahman's power is percolating like this. So, but he says this is the important point for a devotee. Even though it be so, okay, this has created by gods and goddesses. The gods and goddesses are controlling different sense organs. Okay, they may be whatever may be, but our purpose is what? He said, uh, in order to purify my speech, I talk vulgar. Day and night, the tongue, we talk of what? Mundane things. All these useless, worthless things of the world. How many times we talk about God? How many the
But
tongue
in
repeats the
this-
God's name?
But every topic you are talking about, suppose you are talking about your hand, you are talking about Indra. When you are
How,
talking,
who is thinking about that? No one thinks. It is good. Those who do that, they may get benefit. But 99.9% people never think of that. I never thought that my hand is by God. But you may think it is one God. Of course, Vedanta student, everything is happening, we say, by God's will. Eh? Sri Ramakrishna's will or Ma Kali's will. No? That means we are using not, we are avoiding the intermittent gods and goddesses. Vedanta teaching us go back to the boss, top boss, not to work with the intermittent boss. Huh? But those who think, my hand is not my hand, my work is not my work, it is the duty of the hand. My speech is not my speech, good or bad, it is the speech coming from the boss who tongue God. No? So if you then you are free, then you are Brahmagani. Then there is no problem for you. But it's the problem for we people who talk idiotic talks all the time, mundane thinking, mundane talking. So he says, because my tongue talks mundane things, therefore I am to, in order to purify my speech, this speech, rendered impure by talking about worldly matter, day and night talking about worldly matter, I shall speak on the glorious excellence of the Lord according to my capacity and according to what I have learned. So, saying so much of description of the creation, Virato, we are a part of Virato, how our all the five sense organs are working, how the physical body, who is the boss of every organ, etc., etc. It says that, but my point is that my speech, I talk, all nonsense talk, to purify that. I have done that in ignorance. Now I want to purify myself. Therefore, how it will be purified? I talk about God when incarnated as Krishna and his divine play. We can't think Ramakrishna and his divine play, how he lived, how he walked, how he played. So talk about that. So that what will happen? It will generate the divine awareness of Sri Ramakrishna. No? So that will purify the mind. Hmm?
Well, I was wondering what else. Number one, at one point they say that think about God, kone mone, means don't make it public. And saying that if in public we speak, maybe mundane, but it is healing, like expressing love among each other, which is very
That is good.
significant.
That is much better than talking about
Yeah, the
one.
mind becomes peaceful, that there is love, reinforce faith in humanity. So that's a very healing which I am experiencing these days. Because if I start talking about God, dear God is different.
No, God means auspiciousness.
Yeah.
God is auspicious, God is truth, God is love, God is blessings in that sense. But another higher state is that Ramakrishna, look at that. Ramakrishna's state is such that he cannot talk of other things. Wherever he is going, you see, 90%, 99% of the gospel, you find that he's talking about God. That is the another state. But for us, yes, instead of criticizing someone, instead of seeing the bad things in other and talking about day and night about that, you talk about the love, you talk about friendship,
Faith
you
among each
talk
other,
about faith.
trust.
So that's good. But much better is directly talking about all the time the in God's incarnations, the holy people, their life, their teachings, their blessings, their actions. That do them. Wise men say that the only advantage of that man derives from his power of speech is that he can utilize it for describing the glories of the supremely holy being, and that his gain in having ears is that they can be dedicated to the hearing of the glorious accounts about God, Him, sung and narrated by pious devotees and scholars. He is bringing back to real spiritual aspect of our purpose of the tongue Purpose of the ear. Purpose of the ear is to hear. What to hear? Hear only, as he said, the holy being. And the ears is that they can be dedicated to the hearing. This ear can be dedicated. You go to the what you call the see the news of the world. No? That's also um, so much excitement going on every second in the whole world. No? You can engage your ear to hear all those things. Also, you can engage yourself to hear some spiritual talk, something, music, which is inspiring you towards God. So that is the purpose. The ears have been created according to Bhagavad. That is the conclusion. There's verse number 36 is saying that ekant lavang bachaso nu pungsang susloka mauner gunobad mahu sutescha vidvad vir apakritayam katha sudhayam upasangprayogam. The words which is like Sudha. Sudha means nectar. The nectar-like message of the Lord and His glories. The ears are meant to hear that. Tongue is meant. It is better utilization. You can utilize in whatever way. You have a one gun. You can utilize for the protection of yourself and other honest many people in difficulty. But you can use the same gun to kill someone. No? So it is your use, how you use. It is better used to hear, use the ear for hearing about the God, which will purify, sanctify the heart.
But see, people keep on listening that so many different lectures. Maybe it is all godly thing. Today this Swami, tomorrow that Swami, day after tomorrow. And it's all godly talk, but it confuses them.
It confuses them, let it confuse. It is much better than confused really about spirituality rather than talking about mundane things day and night. Compare. It's bad and true. Yeah, it may create confusion.
So clear
Because-
worldly concept or confused spiritual concept.
Yeah, I think that better confused spiritual conflict is a step. And then after that, he will get confused by God's grace because he is seeking for truth. Someone will come in life or he will understand and get to a proper teacher and learn. First, one person has to have little love for spirituality. Maybe he is misdirected in spiritual life because his mind is not clearly understanding the truth. And also, as you said, really, now internet is good, but internet is also creating trouble. You are right. Many people listen one lecture from one Swami, another lecture from another Swami. They are speaking from different angle, not understanding that you take this and that and get a confusion in your mind. And we get so many letters by that way that I heard this, what is this, what is that. And reading little bit of Buddhism, little bit of all other different things. What happened? We may get confused, true. But the sincerity of the person is that he's searching for something to get the truth. The truth will ultimately, through confusion, we go beyond confusion. But worldly thing, day and night talking, what you get? You become a worldly person. And one day worldly person will turn into, no, I have enough worldly thought. Let me think of God. Then he will go to the next step, he will go to one person. One person will say, today, say, oh, he says very good. Then you see here another, oh, he tells much better thing. So you go on shopping, spiritual shops. And then you say, oh, why going so many things? Then get confused. Then cry and weep or God to God who is inside. Gradual development is there. And our point is we are not babies. We need not to consider all these points. We are all devotees. Our purpose should be to talk about God, to hear about the glories of God. Simple formula. This part of all the world problem, we are not to solve the world problem. But solve your own problem. What is your problem and why you are suffering? Because we are hearing worldly talk and we are encouraging and relishing the worldly things. But you cannot do that. Ramakrishna said, when the mind will be little purified, you will not release those things. You will just run away. Sri Ramakrishna could not tolerate those things. He is the highest example. But that is the sign in one will develop. How you release it, how you are disgruntled. You don't like it, you don't care for it. We are not babies in spiritual life. So we are leading 20, 30, 40 years spiritual life. So we should be matured like that. We are not shopping for spirituality today to Buddhism, tomorrow to and Hinduism is there, not Buddhism. Forget that. Hinduism, how many channels are there? How many ways are there? Vaishnava way, Sakta way, Vedanta way, Advaita Vedanta way, non-qualified, non-dualistic way. So how many paths are there? But that is the way probably the maturity comes. God knows. But for us, it is to. So he is saying it is the statement here given clearly that wise. He's saying wise men say. It is not fools are talking about. Wise men say what they say, that the only advantage man derives from his power of speech is that he can utilize it for describing the glories of the supremely holy being. That means God or holy people. We read the lives of the saints. How much inspiration we get? When you read the lives of any saint in the world, their life, you get inspired. So you read that, someone reading for you, you listen to that. That is meaningful, purposeful. For the wise people. If we don't want to be wise, okay, then there is no question of why to read this book. Speech is that he can utilize it for describing the glories. The tongue, utilizing for the supremely holy being, and that he gains in having ears. Ears have been given, is that they can be dedicated to the hearing of the glorious accounts of God, sung and narrated by pious devotees and scholars. So we see so many songs are there which can create excitement in the worldly sense, and that can soothe your heart. Listen to Tagore songs, listen to classical music. It is hearing. The same thing, instrument is the hearing, but it can have effect in your mind in this way or that way. How much could even Brahma understood of the Supreme Being, even after struggling for 1,000 divine years with his intelligence that was perfected by the practice of concentration and meditation? How much could even Brahma understood? Even Brahma, the creator God, is saying how much Brahma could understand. So what about us? Brahma cannot understand the purpose of this creation. And what are we? What is the question of we fools in the world? No? Even after struggling for 1,000 divine years with his intelligent Brahma, even with his struggling for 1,000 of divine years, divine years means our 1 year is 1 day for the forefathers. Maybe 1 year of the forefathers, maybe 1 day for the deity. Around thousands of years, maybe 1 day for Brahma. As you go higher, their range of existence is longer. With his unintelligence that was performed by the practice of the concentration of meditation, the mysterious power of Maya of the Lord stupefies the mind of even the greatest yogis. Maya is such, it will bring argument. Why not this? This is also God, that is also God. Yes, that is God, this is God, and a pure state of mind. So let us reach that first pure state of mind. What is the pure state of mind? In that pure state, you cannot look the world in the way as we are now looking. Good, bad, and all the nasty nonsense in the world. All the time thinking. You become nasty. You become polluted in your mind. So purified mind means thinking of holy, thinking of powerful, positive, power of positive thinking, no? Baba, now it is cold. Morning was hot. And I reported to our Atmavidyan also, and he made it cool. But he will be happy. See, this will give joy to some people, and this will give trouble to us. What can be done? This is the world created like that. Therefore, this is Maya. Therefore, take a warm jacket if you are really feeling cold. And if you really feeling good, put a fan and enjoy. And think of God. So the mysterious power or Maya of the Lord stupefies. Stupefies what? The mind of even the greatest yogis. The extent of power of his yoga Maya cannot be determined even by God himself. How then could others can do that? Therefore, salutation to the Lord, from whom word along with the mind fall back unable to comprehend, whom even the deities presiding over the categories cannot understand. This is 39 verse. Beautiful. Jato aprapo no nyavartanto pachascho manasasa, from which the no avartanto does not come back. Speech and mind cannot try to reach it, but fail to measure, come back. A failure, as a failure. Aham cha anna ime devas tasmai bhagavateno. That therefore I salute, whom even the deities presiding over the categories cannot understand. Therefore salutation to the Lord, from which the words along with the mind fall back, unable to comprehend, whom even deities presiding over the categories cannot understand.
The question.
Yeah. So we end. This is the end of the chapter, 6th chapter. We will read next day, chapter 7. This is the secondary creation, talking about the functioning of the divine Maya. We have said one Maya, another Maya is the divine Maya. This Maya has deluded us, and divine Maya will be there, which can release us, so which can make us. That Maya is the Yoga Maya. Okay. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. So here we end our Bhagavat reading. Next day we'll read chapter 7, book number 3. So the book, so always don't think that this book will be always so easy. Bhakti is easy. Sometimes it is very complicated. So whenever creation comes, it is complicated. When you go to God, it is very simple. God is very simple. But when you look at this world, you will be mesmerized. Very difficult to understand why it is happening, why that is in this world of good, why so much dishonesty, why so much corruption, why so much anger, frustration, and destruction. What is going on? Why? We don't know any meaning of it. No. That's why think of God. That's the only purpose. Well, tell me.
What happened yesterday? I saw something while coming here. It's really bothering on the street. Two guys were fighting very bad, right on Ivar and Franklin. And so I slowed my car and I tried to talk to them. I didn't get out of the car with the two young men badly fighting. And I tried to say, don't calm down, calm down. Nobody would listen to me, of course. Then next thing I know that one picked up a dog leash and started whipping the guy. And so I called 911. But 911 kept on dinkering and asking stupid questions. And I said that, listen, I'm trying to prevent a crime. And here you are dinkering around, not doing anything. 3 times I told you the location, 3 times I told you the description of the people involved. and you are still lingering around. They say you don't want to give your name and number. I say you have it. My call came to you. It's got documented where you are getting called from, and I don't have anything to do. So they are not also. It's bothering the guy that was getting whipped.
Mm.
It could have been somebody that I care for, love, although he was a stranger. It's really bothering me.
Yeah, but how can we explain why it is happening and how can we stop it? So yeah, that's why it's very to live in the world of duality is really not so easy. Therefore, uh, how many things are going on which is not proper, and there is no justice. The people who need justice, they are not treated well. Those who have money are mean ill. Those who are strength in their physical muscle or mental muscle or intellectual muscle, money muscle, eh, or a political party muscle. They get all these things done. That's why the spiritual people pay attention to his own spiritual goal. You tried, you could not do anything there. You tried to call 911 as you said, and they would have come and done something. It didn't happen. Rather, you are in trouble. Why it is happening? Why are you doing? Of course, they have maybe their duties also to verify whether they are always called, get called 100 times a day, how many places they can go, depending on the emergency. But it is happening, true. But you are honestly wanted to help, but it didn't happen. Now it says God is full of bliss. The question: God is full of bliss already, and hence never bored. Then why did this he create this world? The Leela argument so somehow does not make sense to me. Yes, if you think that it is all Brahman, therefore this play is going on. Better to say it is Mitha. It is Vedantic stand-in. If Leela theory does not satisfy you, make any sense. Huh? It is God's play. Huh? To take God's play, two people are fighting and one is beating the other person. Eh? Helplessly he is being beaten. It's Lord's play. Lord is playing with Lord. Really difficult to understand. Okay, then you say, I'm seeing this is the play of the world and it's happening in my mind. Whatever satisfies you, take that attitude. Not that Leela theory is the only theory to be accepted, but you can take the other theory that it is all appearance. Very difficult to be in the realistic life, to eat, sleep, and breathe, and to take these philosophies. That's why people say, I don't understand. Some people say, I don't understand the play of this world. Why this world? Why it came? What is the purpose? What is the meaning? Purpose is to get us disgusted with whatever we see around. Uh, Sometimes it is a little hopeful, and then we forget every other negative experiences we had in our life, and then we are happy for few moments, few days, and then again another blow comes and it's, oh my God, what is this again? Then I try to find out, get out of it. So that is the thing going on in this creation, and we are helpless there. We cannot do anything. So yes, if your Leela argument sometimes does not make any sense to me, that's true. Because how to Ramakrishna state you go, then you can understand it is Ramakrishna, is the Leela. Because he sees that oneness. Yeah? In the theatrical performance, that's the best example. In all the movies, what we see, people are killed, brutally killed, and this and that. It is a very violent scenes we see that people are being treated and killed and butchered and like that. Is it happening really? Is it really someone, one of the man is being killed like that? No, they have to create a fake appearance like that. It is our day-to-day experience, no? You go to see any movie, it is real or it is fake. It is fake. Imagination, playwright has written a screen play and the screenplay is acted by some 10, 20 people, 100 people. They are paid for that. There's a job they are given. They have been job to fall down stunt girls, a stunt man. They're paid thousands of dollars to see that you are penetrating the wall, a glass wall, and just you are down there. So is it really Leela? Will you say it is Leela? Leela means the play. Is it play or is real? In movie, all the movies you see, are they real or the play? It is play or real, tell me. When you see it is real, but it is all play in the background. So if that...
used to get hurt even people walking on the grass.
Huh,
Ramakrishna used to
Ah.
get hurt.
say. So now, for Ramakrishna, mind is in such a consciousness, it's universal consciousness. So he feels himself. If someone touches me, I feel. So if I extend my identity, that happens, no? Mother and the child. If the child is tortured in front of mother, mother will give her life for protection of the child. Why? They are not touching you, they are touching the baby. Why are you getting reactionary? Because I-ness extends. So Ramakrishna's I-ness has extended everywhere, that in that particular mood. Then the grass and he are not separate. The boatman and his body is not separate. So these are the another level. But in our level, how can we reconcile? You cannot. But there are also this way we can think that the world goes on. All the movie industry, world is so much lack of food, shelter, this, that. A TV industry or that industry of movie industry, how much is the budget? You add all the budget of the entire world's TV or movie industry's budget of a year. How much is that? Eh, But it is for fun. And it is all created, which is not there. It is all created of object, and people like these fake things and get joy, excitement out of that. So this whole God, if this whole world is His, if He has created such way, it is possible. But I need not have to judge. I don't understand. From our level, it hurts us. It does so. Therefore, think about it. And when the mind will be pure, God will let us understand. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So today, we'll see you at 7:30 p.m. in our Gita, Shanti Gita class, the Song of Peace.